Hey, what's going on, Noel? That's the CJ Wilson here with Dope Talk. Some breaking news to bring you guys on the recruiting front. Seems like the momentum that FSU had in the month of June, in which where they landed 12 commitments, has carried over to July as FSU gets the fireworks started early in July with the commitment of four-star defensive lineman Earnest Rankins out of Decatur, Georgia. A big time get for FSU. Shout out to Mike Norvell, the head coach, of course. Tony White, the defensive coordinator, but I want to give a really big shout out to defensive line coach Terrance Knighton for closing this deal and getting the commitment of Earnest Rankins. He did recruit him personally as he is the area recruiter in the Atlanta area, and of course the defensive line coach. So really want to give a lot of props to, like I said, Coach Rose for bringing this commitment home and making Rankings a no. FSU beats out University of Auburn, University of Georgia, and Ohio State for the commitment, of Earnest Rankins. Stands as a four-star, like I stated, a top 120 player in the country. Stands at 6'6", 285 pounds. Really nice measurables for Ernest. I really like this get. A lot of potential here. So let's speaking about the win itself, right? So ended up beating out the Auburn Tigers, where he officially visited Georgia and Ohio State. Things started to change to FSU's favor. It started getting some momentum for Ernest Rankins after his official visit to FSU back in July. I'm sorry, not July. Back in June. June 6th weekend is when he officially visited FSU, and things started to take a turn there. Ernest was offered by Coach Knighton back in January, and he's been recruiting him relentless ever since, and got paid off with that relentless effort by landing the commitment of Rankins. So let's talk about Ernest himself and what he brings to the table. Like I say, 6'6", 285 pounds. Just looking at his huddle film, and you guys will have a chance to look at that as well, as we have it attached at the end of this video. But just looking at his huddle film, he's physical, he's violent, and he's pretty athletic. His frame, that 6'6", 285 frame, it stands out clear as day on tape. He can run also. Like I said, there's a play on his huddle, in which you guys will see where he pretty much did a stunt and looped around from the defensive tackle position, coming around from the edge, and within that stunt, he ran the loop, got around, and he also kept running and made the sack on the quarterback, who was scrambling on the opposite side, well, away rather, from Rankins. So you saw the athletic ability, you saw the tenacity to get after the quarterback and finish the play. But again, he could move for a guy that big, could move pretty well. And again, going back to his frame, he's 6'6", 285 pounds. What stands out to me and which can make him so much better is the use of his hands. His arms are so long. If he uses his hands to extend and get offensive linemen off him, there's no stopping him, because he pretty much will be controlling the entire dynamic of the play, the entire offensive, pretty much controlling the opposing player rather, because his arms are so long and the player wouldn't be able to get inside of him and do what they want to do as far as from an offensive line standpoint. If you have long arms from a defensive lineman and just a defensive player, period, I would say a front seven player, specifically defensive lineman. If you have long arms, physical, you know how to use that technique and use your hands rather. I'm telling you, once you keep progressing, go to college, pros, this, that, and the third, hands are so important when it comes to the leverage of a defensive lineman. So he's very raw from a technique standpoint. Looking at his film, he likes to throw his body around, use his size and physical nature to kind of get what he wants. That's why I feel like once he gets with Coach Knighton, who again, long time in the NFL, has done a hell of a job in Nebraska and then carrying over to FSU. I really think that once he gets taught and get developed from a technique standpoint, the sky's going to be the limit for what this kid could do. He could be a really big time player, especially once he learns how to use his hands, and that becomes second nature as far as extending and getting cats off you, that type of deal. Because his arms are very long. Again, 6'6", 285 pounds. So that does stand out. But again, like the get and like what we get from this recruitment, this is the fourth defensive line commitment for FSU thus far within the cycle. I think we're going to have a focus more so on edge players moving forward, just rushing the passer and things like that. Um, Based upon his commitment, once Ernest has been added to the class, FSU will have a top 10 class per the 247 composite rankings. And we're not done yet. They're still trying to add more within the month of July. So it's going to be interesting to see FSU hover around that top 10 class and what surprises they may have down the stretch as far as the recruitment and things like that. I do think things have to carry over to win games as far as during the season with winning games. That's a different conversation for a different day. Again, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't joined the Dope Talk family as it is. Sit tight. We're going to go ahead and post his huddle. Let you guys get an opinion for yourself and let me know what you think about how FSU has been recruiting in the comments and also this commitment specifically. Before we get out of here, make sure you guys grab your tailgate ticket for the Alabama game if you plan on being in Tallahassee for the home opening weekend. It's going to be a huge event. We played the Alabama Crimson Tide, as you guys know, first game of the season. Doak Campbell Stadium, newly renovated, first game since the stadium renovations. It's going to be a lot of energy in the building. You don't want to miss the best tailgate going. Me and James Coleman are partnering within this tailgate. We have a hefty, a plethora of former Noles that's going to be coming through to say hello. Guys that's confirmed already: Derek Brooks, EJ Green, Andre Cooper, Kez McCorvey, Travis Minor, Peter Warwick, etc. We're going to have a lot more that's going to be announced before we get going. Food, all you can eat, all you can drink. We're going to have barbecue, chicken, ribs, seafood, snow crabs. We're going to have liquor, beer, water, you name it. Grab your ticket now. The ticket is in the description of this video. And lastly, my partner 36, James Coleman, is in the middle of his book bag drive. He has drives in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Orlando. Book bag comes with school supplies and also food and things for the household. You get food, snacks, and things like that to go to one household. All of $36. $36 per book bag. If you guys can't give $36, you give any amount that you want, less or more. Donate to a good cause. Man, he's been doing it for a few years, and I'm telling you, I've seen it myself within the community of Tallahassee. A lot of families benefit from this book bag drive and what goes in, not having to buy their kids school supplies, book bags, and they throw some food into their household. It's a win-win. So make sure you guys tap in with him, grab a ticket for the tailgate, donate to the good cause, and get a book bag for a kid. Like and subscribe. Go Noles.